Welcome to my presentation. In this presentation, let us see what orthogonal vectors are. Orthogonal vectors are perpendicular vectors which are perpendicular to one another. Let me explain this. If we have two vectors, if u is a vector and if v is another vector, and if we were to represent that in a graphical manner in this way, if this is x and this is y, and if I were to say there is a vector on the x-axis like that, and there is a vector on the y-axis like that, we'll call this one as vector u, we'll call this one as vector v. The measure between these two vectors is 90 degrees. When the measure between two vectors is 90 degrees, those vectors are called orthogonal vectors, or those vectors are perpendicular to one another. That is what it means. So if u and v are vectors in two spaces or in Rn spaces, then the two vectors u and v in Rn spaces are orthogonal if vector u dot vector v is equal to 0. That is the condition. If u and v are vectors and the dot product of those vectors is going to be equal to 0, then the two vectors are perpendicular to one another. That is the condition. We will use this concept to solve some simple example problems in my next presentation.